Welcome, race fans, back to Deviant Racing League. We're at Red Bull Ring for the second round of our 7-round season 4.3. We're here for the GTD second tier GT World Challenge racing that we have here for you at Deviant Racing, and a quick look then at the standings after round one, which was unable to be broadcast. We have on the right hand side of your screen Dirksy, who was the winner of round one, ahead of Thrasher, and Jim, a very successful first round for the Audi team, running in P1 and 3. Then with Jim in that third position. Camzilla is in fourth place with Binkit in fifth. Aussies in sixth place with Morris in seventh. Kurosakai and Saito finishing 8th and 9th with Matty Mercury ahead of Matty, Slug, Larry and Siam. That's 14 cars for the season. I think we have had a slight change of personnel, certainly for the Team Rookie Rebels, anyway. And in the combined team standings, cross-border competition ahead of Team Distinguished. Drive-through racing in third, Rookie Racers in fourth, with Mountain Dew in fifth, Michelin Speedstars in sixth, and Team OG in P7. Qualifying is about to get underway for the next round then of the championship. Hopefully there will be no problems this time out. I can tell you that Brum is a newcomer. Not for me, I've raced with him for some time, but Brum is here for the Team Rookie Racers, and he'll be taking on the Renault Megane Trophy in the Team Rookie Rebels. Of course, we're racing Group 4s in the series this time out. Let's get you the trackside, and we will introduce the drivers and the cars and the new liveries and everything as per usual, of course. So I can tell you that Brum is here, and he's racing in the Megane Trophy there in the turquoise colour scheme. He's often sponsored by WD-40 and Heinz Baked Beans. Brum, a bit of an inside joke between us all there, but he has he's also got the Deviant Racing League logo on. You can see on the bonnet as well. Brum in P8 then, and his first qualifying session here at the Deviant Racing League. I think that's everybody. Slug is racing in Team OG, and we'll have a look at Slug in a moment or two. We've got Camzilla and Priest racing in Team Distinguished. This is must be the cross-border competition with the heavy Canadian stuff on the car. Molson beer is the run here for the Audi. Not a car you see a lot of in GT racing. The Audi. That's the sorry. That is the Audi, is it not? Yes, the TT Cup from 2016, in fact. Then you've got Binkit going for a, I guess it's an early Halloween special livery. Certainly very evil, with CompuWare sponsoring Mercury's Chevy out there. K. Morris in the car that doesn't look a lot like the others, I have to say. Here, he is racing in the VW Scirocco. Thanks for the sticker on the back of the car there as well. But having a look then at the first flying lap, we've got through turn 1. We're heading in towards turn 3 now with Kurosakai. No doubt about which gear he's in on his dash here. Kurosakai running in the Mazda 3 Group 4, confusingly named. But we do like a bit of Mazda racing. Kurosakai currently then heading into the fairly similar braking, albeit downhill, slightly faster apex speed of turn 4, and then turn 5 is the traction zone out of turn 4, and this sort of never-ending right that leads into turn 6, the left-hander, which is the first of a double left-hand turn. Just got done with the GTD Pros. And welcome if you're joining us directly from there. I know a lot of drivers do tune in to cheer on their teammates. They have nothing to practice for now for 2 weeks, so they tune in and help us enjoy the race. But if you see something that you think's worth comment, or you want to communicate something do take part in live chat today. Look, it's great to have everybody joining us live. This is what live sport is all about. Through the final turn 10 then for Kuros Kai as he exits that final corner and heads towards the line. He goes on a 30... Sorry, he's beaten by Dirksey by a whole second as they come across the line. Looks like Dirksey got a good slipstream there on the way through. Aussie in third place for the moment. Sully comes through. He's also in the Mazda, is Sully, for Team Mountain Dew. It'll be interesting to see those cars. There's Sully in P6 then. Didn't get a fast one on first off. Jim looks good though in third at this stage. Siam pips Sully. Mercury crosses the line into 6th place. Let's go down and see everybody finishing out their laps. Here comes Larry. I think racing for the first time here for his team, as he was otherwise engaged 2 weeks ago. P3 for Larry in the Group 4. Been a while, I think, since Larry's been in the second tier of racing. I think it's the requalification has definitely shaken up the order for everybody. And Brum has picked up a penalty, unfortunately, on his first flying lap, so this one will not count. Dirksey leads, though, on his run. We'll see how many laps the drivers get in. The laps running 6 or 7 seconds, maybe even more than that, slower than the Group 3 cars around the same track. A few moments ago, we got done with that race, but I won't give any spoilers out in case you all are looking forward to watching that later. Just want to check. I've been pinged in one of the chat rooms, so I just want to make sure my attention isn't needed for something. Can I post to my GTD? I can't at this stage, sorry, but I should. I know I'm live, so I think most people have found it. We just had a slight problem with the scheduled stream, so thank you for finding your way here. Appreciate it. If someone is watching and they could just post this link directly in for me, that would be awesome. I was a bit late picking up that communication. Supposedly have extra here, extra chats. There we go. Okay, we are all right. We're live and online, and everybody is there. Camzilla has the fastest lap. Then he's 1/10 of a second only away, as K Morris takes the fastest lap away by nearly half a second in the end. K Morris, what a lap that was! A 1:38.2 is beaten by Larry though by 1.5 of a second. So Larry straight up there in the order. He's in the NSX. I think that's the NSX. Have I got that right? Yes, the Group 4 NSX. So Larry running and driving the car on the correct side of the car, of course, for Japanese, Australian and UK drivers. I'm not trolling. Larry's going actually faster on this first sector of his next lap here. So not eating too much of the tyres away on the start of his race. It's going to be 2 stop races for everybody. I predict, as we get a half-second penalty for Larry, so that's going to take any advantage he had out here. Alexandra's tuning in, cheering on Larry, which is great to see. Hopefully the whole family involved today. Team Michelin Speedstars and the Honda NSX here as we ride with Larry, and we'll see if this lap turns into anything special. But I think with that half-second off throttle, whoa, we got all over the road there on the way through turn 6. It was not pleasant unless we've got some lag on the car, but he's already dropped time, so I think just cruising at this stage. Mercury doing an overtake on K Morris on the way through qualifying. Mercury clearly on a hotter lap. He's outside of the top 8 at the moment, so maybe working together here possibly. I'm not quite sure, but K Morris running through, and he's picking up that is a significant tow in the Group 4s. I wasn't seeing much in the way of slipstreaming going on in the Group 3s, but this looking much better for him, as we're actually going for a bump draft in qualifying, K Morris. So I'm not quite sure. He's absolutely nerfing, and they're not even on the same team, K Morris and Mercury, so it's going to be eating away at his speed. Much shorter wheelbase car, the VW Scirocco, K Morris, so it's not quite what he was looking for there. So K Morris having to just back off a little bit, unless he's trying to just help a friend out across teams, but he's Team boss won't be best pleased with that if that's what's happening. Dirksy's in 4th place right now in his Grain Belt Premium cross-border competition Audi TT Cup car. Let's have a look at Camzilla in P5. How's the lap looking for him? He's following a train of cars at the moment that might be just unsettling either his rhythm or his aero performance as he comes out of the final corner. It's Camzilla across the line, personal best though, and that helped him out quite a bit there. P4 for him. We're nearly done with qualifying, so anybody sitting in the pit lane is done. I think that is going to include Larry. He's not going to get through to do another lap, so he's not going to defend this one, as Binkett is the next fastest driver so far. Just on 1 minute to go before the checkered flag. 1 minute 30 or so, I think, for the overage. So we will wait to see as we go to pick up the progress marker on the way into the braking zone here. How is this? This is the fastest time so far from Binkett into Sector 1. It's about stringing it together now. In fact, you can even dial it back a little bit and just make sure that you get yourself that pole position. Larry is only 0.06 of a second ahead of Binkett as we run through. Let's keep our eye then on Binkett's lap. He's got purple gloves. He's hoping for a purple time. Is Binkett? We will see if that is going to work out. But he's going to be after being an outright rookie towards the end of season 4.2. He's going to be almost team leader here for the Team Rookie Rebels in the Group 4. And he's dropped a load of time in Sector 2. Looks like he's getting significant understeer, unfortunately. So the lap has gone away from him. Okay, Morris also no quicker on this one. We'll see the drivers across the line. Brum's in 6th place. Camzilla comes through. He's in 4th at the moment. Still no quicker from Camzilla. Looks like Dirksy might get a tow from Binkett. That is a very different race car sound in the Audi. And he'll be following, but no, can't cross the line. So there is your result for qualifying. It's Larry with the pole position at 1:38.239, only just ahead of Binkett in the McGann Trophy in P2. K Morris racing with his teammate Camzilla in Team Distinguished. It's quite odd to have Team Distinguished driving a VW, but there it is. K Morris and Camzilla 3rd and 4th positions. Dirksy in 5th. Brum debuting in 6th position and waving the Union Jack for the UK drivers with Mercury in 7th. Thrasher in 8th. We've got Jim in 9th place. Siam in 10th. Aussie down in 11th place, surprisingly, in the Huracan Group 4. And then the Mazdas are 12th and 13th for Team Mountain Dew. Chaotica will drive our safety car, and we will get our race underway for you very soon. Hopefully, you will see some. You'll be able to put your predictions in. Can Larry hang on here for a win? Can Binkett and K Morris also make their way to the podium? Will the Scirocco's behave themselves locked together here on the grid? Looks good to see Izzy here. Zen saying, finally a race he can feel good about. And Gus is watching, which is great to see. Hi to Gus. And he's cheering on Larry, as usual, of course. Starting in 3 minutes' time. Safety car will be lap 17 from Chaos. Okay, it was 16 in the GT3s. I don't think that's a spoiler for anybody, but lap 16 in the GT3s, lap 17 in the GT4s. That will be significantly, I think, into the second half of the race. But with the fuel usage being as it is at the moment, I think we're still going to get 2 stoppers. I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm not quite sure how the drivers feel about missing the start of the football. I know Glovas will be keeping one eye on the football, one eye on the race, I'm sure, if his team are playing today. I know football, very, very important, especially for Glovas, so I'm sure he's timed this one to perfection. We'll be racing with the MX-5s next Sunday, and I'll broadcast my POV if everything goes to plan. I think we're going to the corkscrew of Laguna Seca. I did some practice laps earlier today, and it's dicey on hard tyres in the MX-5. It is really dicey, so we'll see how how and if I manage to hang on to the car. I certainly didn't hang on to the car for the entire race last week at Tokyo, so I'm less than hopeful about my prospect at the moment. Let's keep an eye on the weather as well. The weather is set to random. There is a small 2 point something meters per second wind due to the west, which is a tailwind into turn 1, which the drivers will not appreciate particularly. And there you can see no rain has happened in the last half an hour, but we don't get to see the actual forecast. I don't understand what that's about. But we really ought to see a weather forecast in GT7, so that would be a definitely big wish on our wish list. Ready to get underway then for the race. Can't wait to see how our GTD or GT4 drivers manage to progress here in the second race of the championship. Perhaps a bit of a practice run for most everybody, me included, because I didn't get to see anything of it. We were planning to do a race under replay, but it didn't happen. Larry then in the cream and brown Honda NSX at the head of the field with the bloodstained Binkett on the second position. Brum is crawling forwards. It's lights out. It's dropped the clutch and go, go, go. And it was a hesitant start there from several drivers who were caught napping away. But it's Binkett roaring into the lead on the hard tyres. Larry with the NSX slow away from the grid, but settling into second place. The Chevy of Mercury moving around there in the 46 bright yellow Chevrolet. Securing third position with the VWs going side by side down here. The art of performance, it says on the back of the car, as they will try and go side by side and block the track from the incoming Audi TT of Dirksey. Coming from the outside, there is Thrasher going wide in the Wendy's team drive-through car, and he'll try and rejoin, and that was a little bit sketchy from him. With Kuroski right there with him. The safety car driver Chaotica will run around, but Binkett leads the race at this early stage of proceedings. Larry in second, Mercury in third, with K. Morris and Cam Ziller running fourth and fifth, losing a position each to Mercury. Mercury on the hard tyres. Looks like everybody going for those hard tyres, trying to make it as long as they can, as far as they can into the race, I should say. Kamziner in fifth. Dirksey is in sixth place with Sully in P7 in the Mountain Dew livery. Citrus Drop, it says on the car. This doesn't have the ring of a Glovas livery for the Citrus Drop, but it is still a recognisably Team Mountain Dew. That's Brum, debutant here, just challenging the whiteout Mountain Dew livery of Kuroski. Brum hanging on at the moment with the purple wheels and the turquoise livery then for his run, and a jack-o'-lantern on the helmet. It says Mr. Bean on the back as well of the car, as he goes side by side almost with Kuroski into turn 1. And Brum was actually asking me in the week how the safety car period worked out, so he's got a lot to learn about racing at Deviant in a very short period of time. There is the KFC livery of the Lamborghini for drive-through racing, and I imagine for many American viewers a familiar Wendy's livery scheme then for the sister car in the drive-through racing. Binkett leading the race. I'm pretty sure I saw nearly everybody on hard tyres there, and you can see Larry running. And what is on Larry's livery today? It's the Michelin Speed Stars. Got it. Okay. It looked like a tuxedo-wearing Michelin man, which is quite a strange sticker to have found or uploaded. Mercury, though, in the bright yellow, relatively retro-looking Chevy livery here, and he's in the Team OG for the season. Larry with a big snap on the exit of turn 7, heading into turn 8. He's just about recovered. K. Morris with a good run as well in this VW Scirocco. Very interesting to see. It looks more like a touring car over this side of the pond, the VW. We would call that a hatchback. I'm not quite sure what the term is for a hatchback in the US, but yeah, uncharacteristically small car, European car then for us to race in. Larry looking for that outside-inside move. It looks like it's going to be nicely done there. Line that one up like a treat, did Larry, and he races through partly due to Binkit making a mistake, but here it is. Vegemite, the Australian special food. It's like a vegetable version of Marmite here in the UK, liked by no one other than the nation in which it is originated. The clouds are looking a little bit dodgy out there, a little bit dark as Larry holds firm to the inside line. There is a car's width to that inside line though as Mercury drifts across, and Larry has to take that inside line away from him. Mercury will try and do to Larry what Larry did to Binkit on the previous run through, but no success on that one. Binkit has picked up a half-second penalty himself, so turning first into third, and it may be even lower in the order than that. It is still hatchback, says Alexandra. Thank you. Okay. Is it sedans that are called? We called sedans saloons, I think. So hatchback is obviously is an international term. So great. Good to know. Fancy Sirocco, says Vic. It is fancy. They are distinguished as Binkit moves to one side with the penalty. That was very sporting of him to move aside there, and he's going to open up the option around the outside. Well, it might have been sporting, it might have been defensive, as Dirksey goes down the inside here of one of the VWs of Camzilla. Dirksey goes through then into 5th place. Very early doors to be fighting quite this hard. We have a whole hour to run and sort out the running here, but tell a racing driver not to go for it. And see how quickly you can be ignored. There is Jim in the white and red of Molson's Canadian cross-border competition car in the Audi TT Cup. Big snap actually from him on the way through. It's a slightly odd one. Lots of Canadian brands on there. Bombardier, the aircraft manufacturer, aircraft and train manufacturer actually. Bombardier, chief exporter I think of for Canada. With Aussie down in P9 at the moment. Siam is in 10th. Larry's teammate there in the Honda NSX Group 4. Behind him, Kuros Kai in the Mazda for Team Mountain Dew. Thrasher in 12th. Brum in 13th. Has dropped right back, unfortunately for him, with the starting tyres being the hard tyres. We were expecting lap 17 for the run here for the drivers, for the safety car to come out. I don't know whether I'm enjoying the livery for Team Michelin Speedstars. Just one of those colours I've just never really enjoyed. It's kind of beige. It's kind of the best thing I can say about it at the moment. I think their colleagues, possibly in the team, in it for Izzy and TX in the GT3s in the Ford GT with the grey did look a little bit more tasteful, possibly, but that's open to discussion. We'll have a look later on as Mercury chases Larry down, and Larry is very defensive on the inside lane here on the way into turn 1. This is really going to compromise his exit, and Mercury could go very comfortably on the racing line through the corner. Larry didn't park it at the exit, didn't want to lose too much time to Binkit. But Mercury absolutely breezing by with that American muscle power down into P1. It's champagne beige, says Izzy. Japanese cars in the 90s. Sure, okay. I'm not buying it, but there you go. Camzilla back past Dirksey, and there is a lot to fight for over the mid-pack here at the moment. K. Morris ahead of Camzilla. K. Morris, also known as Priest, of course. Camzilla in P5 with Dirksey and Sully in 6th and 7th. Behind them is Aussie in 8th place. We've also got then Jim closing in behind them as well as Sully tries to turn in on the corner, and he finds a bright red KFC Aussie, a Canadian Aussie, directly in his path. I don't know if Canada have got any drive-through restaurants, but I'm surprised to see him go with KFC. Sully has left the room, it says there. It says Sully has just left the race, unfortunately. So that was a little message came up on our screen. Mercury leads us ahead of Larry and Binkit. well, everybody on the hard tyres with lots of racing left to go. 51 and 3/4 minutes. No, says Glovas. So that is, yeah, teammate Sully has gone from the server. And unlike F1 or some other sims, there's no way back once you've lost connection to the server. Then in GT7, another feature request in the very long list for the next game, hopefully, or at least getting decent sized servers for us to race on. K Morris in 4th. Dirks, can you imagine having a race with both leagues running at the same time, Group 4s and Group 3s? I think it'd be absolutely awesome, and it is when you're racing on ACC as well. So it'd be great with the graphical capability and VR of Gran Turismo and the field strength of an ACC grid. It would be absolutely terrific. Brum has moved up in the order ahead of Siam. I apologise to him for not seeing that particular manoeuvre. Almost looked like Kuros Kai's Mazda is crapping down the straight there. It did look a bit odd on the braking zone on the way in to the corner. Kuros Kai then the rearmost driver at this stage, if you don't count the safety car driver. Larry's going backwards slightly here, losing out to Mercury, who on the hard tyres in the Chevy. I am very surprised to see the Chevy performing as well as it is so far at this tight and twisty European circuit. But of course, quite a lot of the lap is spent at full throttle, so it will help that fantastic big engine block in the Chevy. Of course, all the cars are aimed to be on similar levels of performance, but certain tracks will be better than others. I'm not quite sure what Binkit is representing on his livery here. The Rookie Racing's team do seem to have quite a degree of freedom, a lack of team unity or sponsors, I think, as they are new to performing. So they're choosing what to do now. Camzilla and Dirksey almost pit manoeuvring there, as Dirksey tried to cross over back onto the racing line when Camzilla was right there on his offside, and that was a little bit flirting with disaster, as Camzilla. The more I look at this livery, the more I like it, and I hope Gus is watching all of our liveries through to the safety car period on lap 17, because I definitely want to hear who gets his thumbs up, especially if it's not Larry. Thrasher in 9th and Brum there, just picking up a small penalty at this stage, but sometimes you can even hold on to your position with a half-second penalty with these underpowered cars. Dirksey in P5, Camzilla hoping to get that place back again. You can see they're very much on the nose, this VW Scirocco, as K Morris is there in P4. Scirocco, I think, replaced the Golf, and they've gone for the Pennzoil version of the Webbo sticker. I'm not sure that there is a distinguished Webbo sticker that would work, so maybe I need to figure one out. Feel free to design one and tag me on the livery editor as well. I'm absolutely fine and open to that. I'm not protective over my IP or anything. I just like to have a little bit of fun with the Webbo stickers. There is Jim. It's a nice livery he's gone for here. He's had to use a lot of arrow stickers to make this one work in the Molson Canadian beer for the cross-border competition. Great that we have Canadians and Americans actually getting along at this in this political climate. So that's great to see. It is the bright yellow CompuWare of Mercury. I'm not quite sure what the team are. This is just the Team OG. So again, another team like the rookies, funnily enough, not really wearing a particular identity at the moment. We've got Larry in P2. I mean, I'm wondering whether Gus, I need to just not have a look at Binkit's livery, because it's a bit scary for the kids, unfortunately. Binkit has gone for a full October special, I think, here, way ahead of Halloween. I wonder if he'll be bringing that one out or making it even scarier for Halloween time, as K Morris is there in the number 14 VW Scirocco, and really struggling to get through turn 6. Just hangs on to it though, And I think he's going to have to change his driving style slightly on his way through towards the end of this stint, because the car will not take kindly to being treated like that when its grip is less than optimum on the hard tyres later on. Not an easy thing to do, though, to change your style mid-race. A lot of kind of retro-looking cars with the older Audi TT, with the older VW Scirocco, and the McGee Trophy, all from very previous generations of GT racing. And good to see them still competing here. 8th, 9th and 10th looks interesting. Aussie ahead of Thrasher and Brum, newcomer Brum here, and giving it plenty of beans, as he likes to say. On the way through turn 1, we'll be getting a double tow here from the two teammates who are having to work the wheel quite significantly to hang on at this stage. I'm not sure the Huracan is quite as good a race car in GT4 as it is in GT3, and Brum almost colliding in the back of Thrasher on the way through. I'd love to hear what Gus's favourite order is from Wendy's and from KFC as Brum runs through to continue driving. Vic saying Morris's driving style is stylish and gives it the old Italian hand gesture there. Brum likes to slide cars a lot, so we'll see. Astonishing, enjoying the battling going on as well. Mercury leads Larry and Binkett at the head of the field. This one, though, is thoroughly entertaining as we run on board, while just behind Brum, the different cars' strengths and weaknesses to the Lamborghinis in front being very apparent as we run through. It looks like traction is better for Brum, and he's better on the brakes as well. But I think mid-corner, getting very unsettled by the aero wake of two cars on slightly different lines in front of him. Dives down the inside into turn 10. The game won't like that over the final corner, but I think just trying to avoid contact rather than anything else. There's a 2.4 second gap behind this pair. There's rain clouds up in the sky above the track at the moment, and Brum goes for it down the inside into turn 1. He'll try and pick up the tow alongside Aussie, but he makes contact in the end there mid-corner with Thrasher. I'm not sure that there was enough racing room left. Let's have a look from the traditional TV camera as he goes down the inside line. He had every right to the inside here, but I think he caught the curb on the inside there and ended up taking himself into Thrasher with understeer. So he rightly just pauses and tries to go again. It's dropping the distance behind, though, to Siam, who's racing in the NSX behind him. But Brum getting through in the end there between turns 3 and turn 4. That was a slightly surprising change of position there, unless Thrasher felt like he had to give the place back earlier on. But Brum with the air scoop above the windshield there in the Renault Megane Trophy car, running now in P9, and this is an interesting debut for the Bean Meister himself. And if you know your bean manufacturers, you'll recognise the Heinz logo at the back. Let's go back up to the head of the field then. Larry has not allowed Mercury to get too far away. The number 77 chasing down the 46 here. Possibly a Valtteri Bottas supporter against a Valentino Rossi supporter. Or maybe it's just that we like double digits. Larry, P2, following Mercury. I'm pretty sure Larry's told me it's his lucky number is 7, and 7 was taken, possibly. Close to a penalty for Brum, says astonishing. For that move into turn 1, possibly. But obviously didn't take the position, so we'll hope that it doesn't end up getting reviewed in the steward's room. Binkett in P3. I know magnifying glasses are on rookies. There is the very scary livery for Binkett, and he's about to have a go here at Larry, who's defending down the inside. We've seen so often drivers be defensive in between two cars and end up having to just go for a move just to get someone off their back. We'll see if that happens with Larry and his Vegemite rear window on the way through turn 6 next. He's very offline, is Larry. Over the line slightly between the two left-handers there, and obviously very much on the limit. We've got 6 laps to go before the safety car, when we'll do a full livery opinion review. Larry with the outside inside might have the opportunity here down into turn 9. This is an easier corner to make an overtake and not run out of room. He allows Mercury, but Mercury stays with him all the way around the outside of the circuit. Larry, though, retakes the lead of the race, and I think Binkit is going to get through on that one as well. Let's check that one out again as we run through here. Let's watch from Binkit's point of view, and there's Larry's overtake. I feel like Mercury hung on too long on the outside there, and then had a little questionable touch on the way through, but Binkit through and Larry through into P1 and P2, with Mercury down to P3, and now it's going to be fighting to hang on to that P3 as K Morris enters the fray. We've got a 4, possibly 5-way battle for the lead of the race here in the GTD series, as the number 74 K Morris takes that 3rd place provisionally away from Mercury, and Dirksey goes on the hunt. 5 different teams in the top 5 here. Great to see that we've balanced the teams so well, as Larry cuts across the nose and then gets a nerf in the rear from the Renault. That definitely is worth having a review of. Let's have a look from Binkit's point of view, shall we? We'll see the contact with Larry. That was pretty lazy and not great from Binkit. K Morris will take the position quite happily back as we go back to live viewing. Let's see how that one's worked out. I wonder if Binkit needs to give the place back to Larry, but of course, having K Morris having got through, that's making it really difficult. There's no penalty on the car for Binkit. I think Binkit is giving the place back and 2 places, and then trying to hold on to another one. Here we go. Mercury's caught on the outside once again, isn't able to get back on the racing track. And Binkit will not want to give an additional place over to Mercury, but there is also Dirksey stalking around in the background. Larry might go for a move on the way into turn 1 against K Morris. It's a difficult place to make the move as Mercury around the outside, and not for the first time. McGee is struggling across the entry. There goes Camzilla coming 4th. What about this for great racing here as they almost go, everybody touching each other on the way into the corner. Camzilla holding on, Mercury chipping away at the back of the Scirocco, but in the end it's the Audi TT that triumphs coming through. Larry in 2nd, K Morris in 1st, Dirksey 3rd, Camzilla for a moment anyway is 4th, with Mercury and Binkit side by side. Vic is loving what he's seeing as well. I think Mercury's probably not feeling a great deal of love for all of this. It's got to be super high stress at the moment, but clearly everybody's still able to run. There goes a late maneuver from Binkit. I don't know if there's contact or not. Hard to see. I think Mercury is struggling with understeer, and you can't turn into another driver at that point on the racetrack. Binkit just subtly guiding Mercury to a position where he's forced to lift off through into turn 8. You don't see many overtakes through there, but tremendous racing at the moment. I think Mercury will have to just regroup and try and minimise this understeer he's suffering. You can see that front left being a little bit limited right now, and I think that is what's causing Mercury some difficulty. It certainly seems to be wearing the fronts more than the drivers he's fighting with. Larry, I think, is very close to K Morris and focusing on his exit. K Morris focusing on his entry to the corner, and here we go with Larry. And I think struggling slightly with the Honda versus the VW power down the straightaway. Behind them, it's only 1 second back to Dirksey. K Morris defending. There is a gap, there is a hole on the inside if Larry wanted to go for it, but he's concentrating on outside to inside and getting the better exit out of the 2 of them. He's almost alongside, but I think he's suffering slightly here with the top speed relative to the VW. It's almost on a par, but K Morris just ahead enough. You can run side by side on the exit of this corner. The better traction is just on the outside line, but Kay Morris hanging on, and we're about to bring everybody into this battle for the lead of the race, which is exactly what we want to see as the safety car period approaches. Looks like the Group 4s naturally using slightly less fuel than the Group 3s because they're slightly underpowered. Top speeds more capped, lower horsepower, so they will use less fuel. I don't know if we've increased the fuel rate, or it's stuck at 4% like it is in the Group 3s. Perhaps you can let me know. So we may have one-stop races as an option here, it seems. I think most drivers will be able to make it through to lap 17. We've got some 36 minutes to go on the clock. As they run through, then it is Kay Morris leading by just 1/4 of a second. Kamzilla and Dirksey going side by side, and Binkett splits the middle of the both of them, and somehow they all emerge out of the corner, still in the same order that they went into it. Absolutely tremendous racing here, and I hope everyone's enjoying it out there. Kay Morris in first, Larry running in second position. There is Binkett looking for that inside line. He's got the nose ahead. I have to say, Binkett is driving an aggressive race so far. Absolutely no quarter given to anybody. No space on the track, but he's making it work. Certainly not having a lot of contact, but it does feel like there could be a tiny bit of room left. But I think most of these drivers are just fighting with gloves off at this stage. Kamzilla up to 4th place as Alexandra gives a rocket ship for Larry, I presume. Dive bomb simulator, says Vic. This one, yeah, that's probably fair. Jim's on the back of this as well, and the drivers all on the same strategy, so they're all going to pit and probably do the same thing after the safety car, try and get home on a one-stopper. Brum in P8 has lost 6.7 seconds, but actually, do you know what? Brum's driving a belter here. Was at the back of the grid earlier on, sort of after the first 2 or 3 laps, and now he's up to 8th place and has put a gap on our Canadian Aussie. Binkett in the pits to get out of this run, but that is, for me, that's committing to a 2-stopper for Binkett, with probably still about 20% fuel on the car. Brum's in as well. Brum pitting and Binkett, the Renault team driving for Team Rookie Rebels on the same strategy. Aussie in as well. So maybe it's just a quick run on the soft tyres coming. But looks like it's plan A for many drivers. Aussie, Binkett, Brum and Kuroskai all heading in towards pit road. Thrasher in 12th. Chaotica waiting for his moment at the head of the race. But Kay Morris leading on lap 16. The safety car will come out at the end, I believe, of this lap, but they're heading the leaders in towards turn 4 now. The right hand, last of the big stops on the right hand turning, with Larry chasing him in 2nd place. Looks like they're going to go through the safety car period and out the other end, but I'll be surprised if our drivers who are pitting right now can get the medium tyres home to the end of the race. We'll wait and see whether that's possible, unless anybody wants to give some insight from their work. Look at the beautiful different design lines on the distinguished cars here. Kamzilla. Now, I'm pretty sure Kamzilla's car had Race Asylum written on it, which is a different racing team I'm familiar with from the International Racing Organisation. It says Race Asylum on the back. I wonder if he's affiliated with them, or it is a coincidence there. But yeah, an interesting livery though, all the same. Kay Morris leading the race as he crosses the line. The safety car is on its way out, and we will close in. And actually that got a bit rough there with Dirksey, as I think Dirksey was not expecting the drivers in front to suddenly slow. Full throttle on the approach to the line, but the drivers reducing speed, blinkers going on. Oh dear, yeah, that was a bit clumsy from them, from Dirksey perhaps just switching off for a second there. Let's do our livery review then, and this is the distinguished silver and gold and orange and black lines of the VW Scirocco. So there's the Race Asylum, where the Deviant Racing team is now. It does say Race Asylum, so I wonder if they've co-opted and borrowed a livery but sponsored by Swarovski crystals this time. So it's the Swarovski, the car today. We've got the Michelin Speed Stars, very retro livery there, and you can see the very distinguished looking Michelin man ready for a cocktail hour, and the thoroughly undistinguished Vegemite on the back window. Jose Cuervo tequila as well. Don't drink and drive unless you're sim racing. Here is the first of the cross-border competition, celebrating beer either side of the border. Dirksey in his Grain Belt Premium livery here. Not a beer I've tasted myself. Don't drink a huge amount of beer myself, but I haven't had the pleasure at this point. CompuWare are the sole sponsor, pretty much, certainly the title sponsor today, of the Corvette in the Team OG. Going very retro with this one. Molson and the Canadian livery then. Don't knock Vegemite, says Alexandra. I will knock Vegemite and Marmite all the same. It's vile. But of course, other opinions are available. This is the Molson Canadian livery. I do want to hear, though, what liveries Gus is into there. But the Molson cross-border competition car, as he comes into the pits, I do believe, as does Siam on his way in. Then we've got this very scary Resistance livery here for the Rookie Racing. I mean, it's great for a Halloween livery, but I don't know. I hope we're not encouraging violent resistance. Big fan of non-violent resistance, but I hope we're not encouraging violent resistance here for anything other than a Halloween joke for Binkit. And there is Brum with his WD-40 slipping his way through and making sure that everything moves that should move. There's Mr. Bean on the rear of the car as well. Beans for victory with the Welsh livery. He's not Welsh, he lives in Wales, does Brum. Mr. Bean's signature as well for the Rookie Rebels. I don't know if Gus is a fan of beans on toast or he's yet to sample it. But I imagine you feel, Alexandra, much about beans on toast as I do about Vegemite. Aussie's gone as well from the race. Unfortunately, we've lost one of our liveries there. I haven't heard about Gus's order, what he likes to eat from Wendy's either. Fresh, never frozen, and plenty of Wendy's insignia there in the Lamborghini. I don't ever see Lamborghini signing a sponsorship deal with Wendy's. That's just me. But there you go, K Morris. So Alexandra says, obviously Gus is a fan of Larry and Siams, but he also likes K Morris, this one, the distinguished gentleman of the VW Scirocco, and Jim and his Molson beer livery. So he's a fan of this one. I do like Jim's. I know a lot of work goes into when you have all those arrows on the car. You've got to put a lot of work into all those sticker positionings. So definitely respect the game when it comes to that one. Molson Canadian beer with Bombardier on there as well. So yeah, a nice livery from him. I do enjoy that one. Got to always shout out a Globus livery there, Team Mountain Dew. And this is for the whiteout, and you've got to let me know what whiteout Mountain Dews taste like in the Mazda. And the safety car pits, we're ready to get underway. Binkit will be the front of our field as we bring this race to a close. Binkit will go when he chooses to. He goes right now, and Binkit leads the race on new medium tyres. Brum in second place and Thrasher in third place, with K Morris not far behind at all in P4. So as we restart the race, we go to green flag racing. Larry's back in fifth. K Morris was our leader, but the drivers who pitted way ahead of the safety car are managing to get an advantage here. The medium tyre may or may not last to the end of the race. The fuel may or may not last either, but Binkit leads us, and then it is absolutely anybody's for second place at this run. Brum down the inside line on the way into the corner. He had a small overlap possibly, but there was contact at the apex then against Thrasher. So we will see as they go absolutely nose to nose through the next straightaway. Brum has the inside line to the next corner. K Morris splitting the difference between the two, waiting for whoever makes a mistake in front of him, but it's Thrasher who has decided to ease off and focus on his exit, and what an exit Thrasher got as he comes back through, and that was very neat and tidy then from Thrasher, which is not very easy to say. Let's have a look at this again from the perspective of the Wendy's Lamborghini as we come through. Old-fashioned hamburgers, old-fashioned beautiful maneuver there from the Lamborghini driver, and back into his second position at this point. But Brum is fighting very, very hard here to hang on to a provisional podium place. Certainly racing in that second place. He's not quite past each of these moves, I think. He's not quite got the right to the space, but he takes it nonetheless into second place ahead of Thrasher, with K Morris in fourth and Larry in fifth place. I think Larry and K Morris probably your more likely drivers to make the end of the race than the leaders at the moment. K Morris down the inside of Thrasher with the VW Scirocco, looking absolutely poised on its front axles. Got quite significant camber on the front wheels as well. I don't know if you can see that up close as the car goes away from us. You'll see the bottom edge of the tyre sticking out much further than the top edge of the tyre. It seems to be leaning in to the car, so that must be a handling adjustment that the team have made, and we will see if that actually helps with the tyre wear on the fronts. Brum's getting away though as K Morris fights with Thrasher. It's got the IMSA sticker on the front of the Lamborghini Group 4. Larry down the inside, holding on at least against Mercury, who, not for the first time today, is on the outside going around a corner and struggling for grip. And looks like the Corvette a real handful. He's got the inside line going into turn 6 though, and hangs on very nicely in that retro OG livery for the bright yellow CompuServe, CompuWare, excuse me, livery then. And Larry just advertising for Vegemite on the back window, unlike his teammate who has far better taste. It's K Morris in third, Brum in second, and Binkett leading the way, the McGanns. And how often have we seen in 2025 that the French manufactured GT cars are at the front of the race? It was very much the way in the previous season with the Peugeot RCZ, and hopefully it's not another overpowered French car for this season, but time will tell, of course. Binkett ahead of Brum, 3.1 seconds. Brum only has 0.6 of a second back to K Morris, who has just 0.2 of a second ahead of Thrasher as they continue fighting. So 21. We got 38 laps in the GTD Pro series. We will have fewer than that, maybe more like 35, I would suspect, for this race. I'm not quite sure. I just got a quick message from Alexandra and then it was deleted, so I hope she didn't say anything controversial. It's Brum in second, K Morris in third, Thrasher in fourth, Mercury in fifth, Larry losing out at the moment, down in sixth place. His main battle at the start of the race was with K Morris, who has managed to get the better of this stint on the medium tyres, but maybe Larry is keeping his performance in hand here and keeping his ambition in check at this stage to one-stop this race. So it's definitely something to watch out for, to see whether Larry is treating the car slightly more gently and treating the tyres more gently, more to the point, to get home without having to stop anymore. It's Camzilla in seventh. It is Dirksey there in eighth position. Jim gets very rudely handled by Siam from behind. Siam just about managing to save that one. Well, maybe have another look at exactly what went down there with Siam. I think that was probably accident rather than intention, as he goes for the move. Jim was looking for the opportunity here, and then Siam is avoiding action that Siam was trying to make. Oh, Siam is also repping Vegemite. My apologies. I thought he had better taste than that. Jim has just about held on as well, but the gaps, of course, have opened up as a result of that contact. Siam did pick up a penalty, he did yield position and drop time, but it wasn't enough for race control. Kuros Kai in the Mazda, which never quite looks like it's going in a straight line, in the Whiteout Mountain Dew livery there, getting the rear very active. I wonder if that's lag rather than actual driving style. Binkit leads by 3.6 seconds, and still the battle continues for the podium here. K Morris needing to defend hard on the inside in the VW Scirocco, ahead of Thrasher, Mercury, Larry in very quick succession. And Brum not able to get away from them at this point. Brum, I'm certain, will be a two-stopping this one with the fuel load he's got on the car. The car is much lighter at this stage, but he's having to go fairly aggressive. Might need to use a second set of mediums, I think, even. So the drivers who went hard to medium may get away with a set of softs at the end of the race, potentially, if their fuel load's determined. But if you compare the fuel load, bottom left of your screen, for Thrasher's car to K Morris's car here, amazing that K Morris is able to keep the same level of performance as these drivers who were much lighter. Brum was a day late and a dollar short with that defence against K Morris, who just had a fabulous exit out of the corner. K Morris straight back up into second place now, and he has been getting quicker and quicker in this phase of the race. Mercury, P4, Larry just starting to move forward now. He's door to door with Mercury and goes through. Mercury, I think, ending up losing out momentum to Thrasher there, sorry, to Larry through that run, and it is Larry then in that P5. His target would be finish on the podium with or around K Morris's run. Behind them, Camzilla and Dirksey are fighting hard as well. Don't want to leave any drivers out here. There is Thrasher, there is Camzilla, and Dirksey in the Audi TT. I love the fact that there's quite a retro feel to this. It's almost like a Glovas Cup road car race, this one. If we didn't have Lamborghinis in this, I think it would be more of a budget GT racing car series, which I'm here for sure. I do like unlikely racing cars and cars that look like road cars. I have to say, the Honda NSX is definitely not a budget car either. Yeah, these family hatchbacks are where it's at for me as a British Touring Car Championship fan. Love it. It is Binkit leading the race, 3.2 seconds, but he did stop at the same point as Brum before the safety car, so I think we'll be on that. Well, he's got a similar amount of fuel actually to K Morris. Brum may have underfueled the car, committing to a two-stop very early. In fact, going around the outside of turn one, wow, that was brave and effective, it seems, as well, as he managed to get onto the better traction point of the corner. Now Brum is incentivized here to keep K Morris as far to the right as possible on the approach to the corner and take that inside line if possible away from him. Brum hanging on there, and you have to say that was robust, but I think within the bounds of legality there from the two together. You can see this from K Morris's perspective. It looked like K Morris may have come off the brake mid-corner here. Brum was trying to shepherd him to the inside line where there is no grip to brake. There is the brakes, there is the brakes. No, he's definitely hard on the brakes, is K Morris. So that was just a drop in braking performance mid-corner, and it's actually cost him third place to Mercury, who's made his way by as well. Incredible stuff here at this stage. This was K Morris, who struggled away from turn 3, and he's got Mercury on the outside. What happens on the next run through the corner? Too much grass, I think, possibly. Too much apex from K Morris, and he loses out position then back to Mercury, and he's got Larry still queuing up for the chance to try and finish on the podium. Mercury got a decent amount of fuel on board, same amount as K Morris and Larry, so I think these three are going to be the ones fighting over the victory today. I think Larry was quite understandably proud of being in the top tier for a long period here at Deviant Racing and not being relegated officially from the previous one, but the decision was taken to requalify the entire field between seasons 4.2 and 4.3, and it's put Larry in a position where I think now he can start fighting for victories potentially in the grid. So clouds and silver linings come to mind. Brum is a little bit slow out of turn 3 at this stage. I think just a slight miscalculation on the way into the corner there. That is helping Mercury stalk him and come in close. And Brum has quite a crinkled looking Mercury McGann trophy there. It's not a Mercury trophy car, it's a McGann trophy car. It is the Mercury Chevrolet behind him as they come through. The Corvette C7 model of Chevy. I think, do I see Deathstroke on his bonnet there? The comic book character. I think I do, from Green Arrow. So it's possible that that's what I'm seeing. The kind of that is the DC Universe version of Deadpool, Deathstroke. K Morris in 4th, Larry in 5th, Camzetta in 6th, Thrasher in 7th place down there in the Wendy's car, and Jim in the Molson's beer livery in P8. Gus's 3rd favourite of the liveries. The more I look at this distinguished car livery, the more I'm enjoying it. Actually, I think it might be my pick of the day in terms of liveries, but I definitely think Jim's deserves a very special mention, and a great shout from Gus there as K Morris has an almighty run out of the next corner. Might go all the way around the outside, does go all the way around the outside of Brum and fighting off Mercury. This is K Morris. This is about getting the better of the exits rather than the entries. He's gone wider than anybody. Both cars in front kind of get unsettled on the curb. And K Morris finds his way by both of them. Brum tried to shut him down, but all the time, you have to leave the space, and leave the space he did on that outside run. So K Morris back into second. Great roller coaster race he's had, K Morris in the 74. His great rival here for the win today, Larry in the 77, 3 places back from him. Brum then running low on fuel. He's going to exit out of this race into the pit lane shortly with 15 minutes left to go. This race has absolutely flown by for me. I hope it has for you as well. But the hour has disappeared on us as we've got look at the amount of close racing we have had the entire race long. This is fantastic. Is that Larry indicating his way towards the pit lane? No, that's Mercury with a penalty. Larry going around him there, and Brum has not gone into the pits this time. Certainly will have to go in on the next time round. Running low on fuel here is Brum, and he is committing to a pit stop, as is Thrasher now into the pits. So if everybody ends up pitting thanks to a drop in fuel, then Thrasher and Brum will be in a great place. I think they're going to make it on a one-stop here in the GT4s for the majority of the field, and I think possibly the rookie racing strategy, especially for Brum, isn't quite where it could have been. He didn't give himself the chance to make the end of the race by fueling to the maximum. I just didn't feel like he could do it, I think, at that point. But sometimes running in the slipstream, sometimes you never quite know what the race conditions are going to be. The wind has changed into a direct crosswind, southerly wind. It's 2.6 meters per second southerly wind, then into a crosswind into turn 1, which is going to be a big adjustment. Brum around the outside of K Morris again. K Morris doesn't know Brum's strategy, won't anticipate that he can get through as Brum squeezes once again. Brum not usually a GT3 driver, I must say, not usually a tin top driver as far as my experience with him is concerned, and so perhaps just not quite leaving enough room for his rivals here as you go through out of turn 5 heading towards turn 6, and I think just not really recognizing that K Morris was right there with him on the inside line. K Morris has a penalty, I think, there, and has lost 2 more positions, back down to 5th for K Morris, but Brum heads into the pits and exits out of this battle. So I don't know if Gus is a fan of the Brum TV show, but that is what Brum is named after. I know my kids love watching Brum, especially with their grandpa. Grandpa used to put that show on all the time for them when they were little. So yeah, that was a fun memory in House Webbo. It is Dirksey in P6. There's Mercury chasing down K Morris. Binkett leads the race. Larry's back in second, much to the much to the celebration of the Kalber Papas household, as Mercury comes through and just over the yellow curb there. And it won't treat him any better just because his car is painted the same colour. Mercury running through. K Morris versus Larry once again, under a tenth of a second between them. Larry will defend, try to drift out wide, get hold of that better traction zone. K Morris this time, unusually for him, just miscalculating the run through the corner and just eating too much curb on the exit, and losing out just a very, very small fraction. 11 minutes and a half to go then on the clock. Binkett ahead of Larry, 5.6 seconds. But that is not the story of the race. The story of the race is the multiple positions K Morris has been in. Larry's been up and down as well. But essentially, these two feel, I think, like they are fighting for this podium and have been all race long. I think they probably anticipated that this was a run to a potential victory today, but Binkett has been on another level. If he can keep the tyres going here, and remember, he was one of the first drivers to pit before the safety car, if he can keep this going to the end, he is going to take a fabulous victory for the rookie rebels, as Mercury just hesitates along on the apex of turn 1. K Morris held off that move. Larry, using the middle of the road line here, tried to widen the track as much as he can on the approach into turn 3, and he holds on once again. Mercury with a really good drive. He'll go side by side with K Morris this time, and we'll have the opportunity to get that inside run, but unusually the Corvette struggling this time for top speed. Just didn't get any slipstream, I think, from any cars with him. K Morris was focusing on following Larry, and Mercury trying to get a different line through the corner. Enter Jim into the fray as well, and the two Audis in 5th and 6th positions could still, this is a very Jim style race, to show up late to the party and steal positions. One of those drivers who bides his time, I think it's fair to say. Maybe keeps his performance in hand for the end of his stints, but it's not unusual. A little bit like a Nismo in GTD of seasons past. Nismo would be very quiet most of the race, and then suddenly you just see him at the front of the race. Is he saying, "I wish Larry and Morris would work together"? Here, are you hoping they would do bump drafting or something? But I think Morris, there's just too many cars involved in this fight for them to even consider working together to catch Binkett. Binkett is far and away in front of this one, but yeah, they are just costing each other time. If they did do bump and runs, how about that one from Jim? What a trip through the corner from Jim. Let's see if Jim can steal a place here. He has lost a little bit of momentum. He's lost a place to Dirksey on the outside here. Dirksey's going to decide which way to go. Larry's on the inside. K Morris has gone around the outside. Larry holding on down the inside line here into turn 3, and then there's another VW coming into the fight here. It's Camzilla behind Jim, and again a 6-way battle for second place continues. It is absolutely anybody's here. At any single moment in the rest of this race, someone could go bowling, someone could just disappear off the track, much like I did in my race yesterday, when the focus started to fade, and the order will swap around. But this is fabulous racing from the Group 4 cars and the GTD drivers, you've got to say. So this is thoroughly entertaining. I'm not sure all of them will be finding this entertaining. I think some of them will be finding this incredibly stressful, as Larry and K Morris kind of dummied Larry to the outside there. I think he might be going for it down the inside into turn 9. Here we go. That's the inside line gone. Larry yielded very early, knowing that he couldn't run around the outside and hold on against Mercury. So Larry tries. Oh, that's very wide, and surely now Mercury's going to come through, possibly even Dirksey as well, and he does. Dirksey level with Larry across the line, takes the position. Larry drops 2 spots to Mercury, and Dirksey running through there. He's trying to hold back onto them, and he absolutely dives bomb Dirksey into the next corner. That was quite the sequence for the Honda NSX driver in the Michelin Speedstars. That was running wide through the final corner. He looked like he'd done everything right up to that point, and then it just went away from him. And then as they come up towards this turn 1, I don't think he had a right to go for a move down here, but he went for it anyway. And it came together, and then you can see Jim closing in the background as well. We'll see if Jim ends up getting by. I think he does. Does he? Where's Jim? Jim's in third? That's just mad. How did Jim make it up to third place through there? Let's have a look. Here he is on the outside. Look at he's in 7th place as they head into this corner. And there was the driver who went bowling. And how about sensible Jim? Outside to inside, takes the position, and it's all gone for his rivals. And yeah, crazy stuff from Jim. And then down into the corner, that was Mercury being taken out as the innocent party and all of that. But there is Jim on a provisional podium for cross-border competition. His teammates not far behind him in 4th. Binkett leads. The gap has opened to K. Morris, who can breathe easily for the first time this race. It's lap 31. There are 6 minutes, just over 6 minutes to go in our race. I am completely breathless once again here at Deviant Racing. This is fabulous racing and great to see from everybody. There is Dirksey in 4th. Kamzella's running 5th. Mercury's in 6th. Larry in 7th place. And just for a moment, there we go and look at the rest of the grid. There is Siam in 8th place, 5 seconds back. A further 9 is Guras Kai. 8 further back is Brum, who has had to put the soft tyres on and now is trying to do those quali laps you need to try and regain those 33 seconds he's lost to the leader. 7.7 seconds to the car in front. Thrasher pitted with Brum on the same lap. And there is P11. Larry is Valtteri. So he's definitely owning that number 77, says Izzy. For real, for real. So I'm sure he will love that as a mullet honorary Aussie. Valtteri Bottas. Fantastic. So Larry, unfortunately, did not come off well in that run. He's down into 7th place now. K. Morris in 2nd and Jim in 3rd place in the Audi. And looking good here for a provisional podium, at least for cross-border competition, and that will be priority number 1 for the team. It's elbows up time for Jim, I think, here wearing the Canadian colours, and Binkett P1 and leading this race significantly. I think K. Morris needs to forget about a win, and there was Larry with a huge snap through the corner. Where is he at the moment? There he is. That was a frightening moment for Larry. Let's actually join him on board, shall we? He already had oversteer, and he was seesawing at the wheel into turn 6. He's going to turn into this corner, and I think the tyres are dirty. Onto the throttle. Oh, wow. Well held anyway, but unfortunately for Larry, I think that is curtains for his battle for the podium. In fact, the game even gives him a half-second penalty just to kick him in the nuts before the race is run. The clouds are gathering once again overhead here. We are only down to the final 4 minutes now, but could there be moisture in our final few laps here? The sun is still shining at certain parts of the track, but it could be. Zen saying took them back from 2nd to 6th. Big wreck on turn 2, says Zen. Well, thank you. Thank you for showing up and saying what I've done wrong, Zen. But right, okay, so big wreck in turn 2. I didn't miss it. That was what we were just replaying, wasn't it? With the bowling and Larry issue, where Jim took 3rd position from 7th by avoiding all trouble. I think that might be what you're on about, because turn 2 is more the left-hand kink on the approach into the braking zone for turn 3, but we'll argue over it later in the comments. We've got Larry down in 7th place, and he's going to get further away from this amazing battle that's been race long here. It's K. Morris in 2nd, and the sky and the light drop here. We might even see headlights before the end of the race. In fact, do I see any headlights on yet? Not quite. But Binkett leading the race. We've got 2 minutes 50 to go. He's just crossed the line for his penultimate lap, I do believe. So this is the penultimate lap for the majority of the drivers. And I think we will probably all just about finish on the same lap even. Let's see everybody across the line safely momentarily. But the Fanatec driving Dirksy in the Audi TT Cup car, representing the Grain Belt beer for the cross-border competition. I think celebrating the things that Canadians and Americans have in common, and that's a love of beer. This time round, anyway. Dirksy and in fourth place, Jim in third, K Morris in second. Jim looking pretty good right now, and here he is in that P3, just 0.3 of a second away from K Morris, with slightly less fuel on board, but I think we'll be safe here as we get ready then to Binkit will be coming through to start his final lap in about 40 seconds time. Binkit leading the race ahead of K Morris and Jim, Dirksy and Cam Zilla. It looks like a good payday for both the cross-border competition and the distinguished team, who will be running in that second and fifth places. But it is the rookie Rebels who may well secure the win here, with Binkit at the head of the field. The OG team in P6 there, with the Chevrolet in the retro livery for Mercury. Larry in 7th place as well. So K Morris looking like he's struggling slightly. The message on the license plate there for Jim at the front of the car says "move over" in mirror letters. I'm not sure K Morris is going to read or care about that message, but could be that the VWs are going to be losing positions here. Jim looking great on the way through turn 1. Good, respectful room left there from K Morris, as Jim then has the racing line but not the inside line into turn 3, and he'll be just trusting K Morris to give the space as he tries to go round the outside. That looks very good from Jim, just keeping half a tyre on the racetrack, but unfortunately without using the slipstream, he's struggling to get the top speed advantage. If you can hold the outside line around here, the traction zone is better and gives you the inside line for the next 2 corners, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here. Jim, K Morris fails to leave the space this time, understeering accidentally into Jim. That takes his momentum away slightly, and Jim cannot hold that inside line this time. Mercury's made his way by Camzilla, but has a half-second penalty to pay on the next run through the penalty point. It's K Morris in second, Jim in third, and Dirksy in fourth place. There is Binkit leading the race in first place ahead of K Morris now, and Jim. Dirksy running in fourth place, and Jim having to go from offense to defense here with his teammate tucked up behind him, and Jim just about clearing Dirksy. I think K Morris, who's been very on the nose of this car all race long, I think he's starting to struggle with the grip here, and he's not got a huge amount of fuel to go. There is the checkered flag. Binkit wins ahead of K Morris and Jim, with Dirksy, Mercury and Camzilla following hot in pursuit. Siam's got the run. They can't decide between them on the Michelin Speed Stars. They can't decide who wants the points more. Brum in 9th on his debut, then so Siam just ahead of Larry in 8th. That was a bit of a Lewis Leclerc situation from today. Kuroskai in 10th. Thrasher will get 11th place, but Binkit is the winner in the blood-stained rookie Rebels racing team, and congratulations to him. He has dealt with that one beautifully, put in a blinder of a strategy in the Renault to take home the win and the full points. Brilliant racing from him, and absolutely breathless racing from everybody in that mid-pack, and the packer drivers hunting for the podium. It's Binkit ahead of K Morris, and the Old Glory is flying very strongly in the finishing order for Group 3. K Morris in second, Jim in third place, very close behind in the end. It's Dirksy in fourth, Mercury in fifth, Camzilla in sixth place with Siam and Larry. I think Brum got the fastest lap using the softs at the end. He did indeed, 38.5 with Kuroskai, Thrasher and Chaotica. Unfortunately, we lost Chaotica and we lost Aussie, and we also lost Sully throughout the course of the race. I mean, we lost Chaotica because he didn't want to sit around and watch the race from the cockpit of the safety car after his race was done. But yeah, unfortunately, Aussie and Sully will not pick up a finish classification from the race. Binkit, K Morris, Jim, your podium when all is said and done. Thanks everybody. I really appreciate you all watching, taking part live or after the race in the comments. Drop a timestamp of your favourite moments if you don't mind, and remember all the buttons under the video today to help support the channel in any way you can. I really appreciate it, and thanks so much for watching. We will be back with Deviant Racing in 2 weeks' time for a broadcast, in 1 week's time for some MX-5 driver POV from my point of view. But from us here at Deviant, from me, Webbo, thanks so much for watching. We will catch you on the next race day.